Stop, look, listen. It's time for the Jack LaLanne Show from Hollywood. Starring the world-famous nutritionist, author, lecturer, and physical culture expert on your figure and beauty. And now, here is the man who will show you how to feel better, look better, Jack LaLanne.
Hello again, and welcome to American Senior TV. I'm Kerry Glusevich. Jack, welcome to American Senior TV.
You know,
it is an honor.
Kerry, if there are more people like you, it would be a better world.
Oh,
And ladies
thank
and
you,
gentlemen,
sir.
boys and girls, stay tuned.
Okay, boys and girls, this is Friday, you know, and this is the day that we've been waiting for. So you go get Mother, bring her right over to the television, and you say, Mother, come on, Jack LaLanne's going to show you how to have a brand new figure and how to be more beautiful.
And welcome back to American Senior today with a very special edition of American Senior TV with a salute to Jack LaLanne. Not only are you an expert weight trainer, nutritionist, all-around great athlete, and we'll talk about that shortly, about some of your treks from Alcatraz in. But I also wanted to mention you're a great singer, did an album with Connie Haynes. You've also got a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah, you know, if I hadn't been in physical fitness, I would have been an opera singer.
You would have.
That's what I wanted to do.
Ah.
Oh, Marie.
Well, and you're a Frenchman, I can see why. You really, speaking of pioneers, you were a pioneer in many areas. And first, let's talk about the fitness.
You can bet your bivvy on that.
You paid $45 a month, if I'm not correct, for your first studio.
Right.
Hey, how we doing? And a very, very happy, wonderful, pleasant day. We have another chance at 24 hours of happiness and bliss. At least it can be that way if you want. Boys and girls, don't forget now, you're my helpers, you know? And so wherever daddy is, or mother, or granddaddy, grandmother, who's ever in your house, you go over and say, come on, folks, it's time for our trimnastic party. Before we get started, I want to take about 30 seconds or 20 seconds of your time. I know there are a lot of you that are kind of moping around, feeling sorry for yourself. You think you're over the hump, you can't exercise anymore, and you feel like life holds nothing in store for you. So listen carefully, please. Dear Jack LaLanne, I am 50 years old. For the last 7 months, I have been taking your wonderful exercise, and now I feel 10 years younger. I hardly believe it myself. My friends say I even look younger. Please read this letter on your program. I want every woman to know what a little bit of exercise can do for them. God bless you and keep up the good work. Miss, and God bless you too, Mrs. G.D.G. from Pueblo, Colorado.
You had to do with some of the world's great athletes at that time. You had to give them a key of their own because their coaches didn't want them doing weight training.
And the coaches thought if you'd work with the weights, you'd be muscle bound. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be able to run or throw a ball. And now, there's not one world-class athlete, men or women, not using weights.
So along with the weights, by the way, you studied chiropractic and actually got a degree in it.
Well, the reason I did that, I wanted to learn all the muscles of the body, working the body. Mm-hmm. Then I learned the muscles. Then I could make exercise programs for my students.
Okay.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
I had no idea. There's 356 muscles in the human body?
Yeah.
And along the way, have you had many injuries yourself? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Played football, my knees.
Okay.
I hurt my back and my knee. But you work through it.
As far as keeping you going, as we were talking during one of the breaks, you always inject a little humor in it. Is that partially what keeps your motivation going?
Well, you lose your sense of humor.
Yeah.
What's the good of living?
And there's some of you right now in front of that television haven't exercised for a long time, and I want to ask you a question. Oh, where have you been? You have put on some weight. You're the same in the hips and the middle. If you never have a date, it's because you load your plate with food that's so fatty on the griddle.
In life, you gotta laugh.
You actually went to medical school before chiropractic, correct?
Yeah. I was going to be a medical doctor, but then I got into chiropractic because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people to help themselves.
Now, when you opened your first fitness studio, not too long after that, television came along with your first
yeah.
TV show.
When television just started.
And you were obviously a pioneer in television.
When I first started television, all the newspapers, you know, I was born in San Francisco, in the San Francisco Chronicle, the Examiner,
Yeah.
Berkeley Gazette, Oakland Tribune, they all wrote, Jack LaLanne, the muscle man, he's on television. We'll give him 6 weeks, he'll be off the air.
And 40 years later or something,
Right.
you're still on the air.
I was
Unbelievable.
on 30 years.
Also, let's talk for a moment about your latest book, which I think is Live Young Forever.
I'm really proud of that book. I go through every problem you think you can have.
Okay.
And I have in there how to solve these problems. The food you eat, the exercise you do. There's something for everyone. Young or old, or rich or poor, fat or skinny. There's something for you.
What about if somebody hasn't exercised at all and they're in their 60s?
You just start out easy, that's all.
Okay. That's one of the problems people do make, isn't it? They try to do something too rigorous.
You just start out real easy.
Read some of your
Then
books.
then you go along and see, it isn't how long you exercise. It's what you do when you're exercising.
Okay.
It's got to be quality. You've got to put stress on the body. If you don't stress the body, you don't improve. They take people in their 80s and 90s and put them on a weight training program. They double their strength, double their endurance, 6 to 8 weeks. This is not me talking. This is all
That's
medical
the
doctors
truth of it.
have done this with hundreds of patients.
Didn't you develop the first machines, which became a
absolutely.
huge thing?
There was nothing around then. The first weight selector, first calf machine, all that equipment. See, my whole thing when I started business, in order to get publicity, every 2 or 3 months I'd invent a new piece of equipment.
Okay.
And I had a friend of mine named Paul Martin. I would draw out what I wanted, and he was a blacksmith, and would make the thing by hand. You know what I said? If man makes it, don't eat it. And if it tastes good, spit it out.
Do you not eat any cooked food, or is it
No,
pretty much?
I try to get at least 8 or 10 raw vegetables. Every restaurant has a Jack LaLanne salad. I tell them what I want. I practice what I preach. I try to get at least 3 or 4 pieces of fresh fruit, and then all the raw vegetables. Then I eat. I get all my protein from fish and
Okay, I was
egg
gonna-
whites.
And egg whites.
Egg whites.
Okay.
Egg whites, one of the best protein known to man.
And no meat.
No,
No meat.
I don't eat meat.
Tell us a little bit more about Live Young Forever. What inspired this book?
To get people off of their seat onto their feet, and to tell them to put, see, I have a Corvette automobile, right?
I noticed that, yeah.
Would I put water in the gas tank? Wouldn't run, would it? How about
Yeah.
the human machine?
There you go.
You put junk in, junk out.
Absolutely.
That's why so many of these people, you know, they eat all this cakes and pies and candy, and ice
Chips
cream
and all
and
that, yeah.
all this stuff, you know. Eat it all here. And that's
Sugar
why they have
sodas.
big butts and big
Yeah.
guts on them, no energy. You know, it's terrible.
It is, and I hope, especially the young people, the rate of obesity these days, you can get in one of the fast food restaurants, you can get enough calories in one of their
yeah.
dishes for an entire week,
know,
and empty calories.
You know where they make a big mistake? They've taken physical fitness out of the schools. You know, when I was
Right,
going to
yeah.
school, it was compulsory. You had to have
PE.
one period of physical fitness, you know, exercise every day.
Yeah.
And they've taken that out of the schools in some of them.
Another, I would say, element of what you include in all of your regimes is a spirituality.
You got to believe, how can you look at the human body? Do you think man could duplicate this in life? There's got to be a supreme being. There's got to be something beyond all of this. You know what I love? This is the moment
I love that.
I've waited for. This is the moment. If you're not happy this moment, you're not going to make it. What you do this moment controls the next moment. You know?
Exactly, and you're living in the present, which is,
Well,
yeah,
that's exactly right. What I did 20 years ago, that's water under the bridge.
yeah.
It's what I'm doing, what I'm going to do. I have goals and challenges. I want to help more people to help themselves. Billy Graham for the hereafter. I'm for the here now.
We're going to take another short break, and then in segment one later from now, we're going to present Jack with the first annual American Senior TV Life Achievement Award, and also we're going to bring in Late LaLanne, who has written at least 4 books herself.
She's the power underneath my muscles.
Again, we're here with Jack LaLanne. Our show today is a salute to Jack LaLanne, and we'll be back after these words.
I want to salute you.
Jack, earlier we've been talking about pretty much everything you've done throughout your life. One of the other things you do and have done is motivational speaking and lecturing.
You know, my whole life has been helping people. As I said earlier, Billy Graham for the hereafter. I'm for the here now. I like to get an auditorium with 2,000 or 3,000 people, and I want to help them to help themselves. And then maybe a few months later, oh, Jack, I went to your lecture, you know, and I started exercising, started eating right. I've lost 40 pounds. I've never felt better, double my strength. My sex life is better. My hair is better. Everything about them is better. That makes me feel good. I've helped somebody to help themselves.
What is your opinion of the diet industry? Is a $1 billion industry.
You're right.
And somebody loses weight and they eat some strange foods, again, out of a box, and then they gain it back and then some.
You know, your life is yours. Who makes the decisions for you? You. Right?
Absolutely.
So if you do things wrong, you made it happen. What we know about nutrition now, what we know about exercise, everybody knows we should do it, but how many people follow it?
Right. Everybody knows the right thing.
It takes intestinal fortitude. You got to develop pride and discipline.
Do you remember the first actual show you did on television?
I don't know. I was so scared. I nearly died.
Yeah, absolutely petrified.
I never did a television show. I was on 30 years. Never did a show that I didn't get nervous. One thing in my mind, how can I help that old lady, that young kid, that fat person, that skinny person? How can I help them? And I had to entertain them. And I had to give them something that they could do in the privacy of their own home to help that person to help themselves.
So many people join a gym and never go.
Oh.
Which is
thousands and thousands and thousands.
And yet, you, like you said, and of course the machines are great, you can do it all at home.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Are you a believer in isometrics?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why people work with the weights. Isometrics means doing something, you know, nonstop. I don't rest between sets much. Just keep it going.
Earlier in your life, you said you played some football?
Oh, yeah. I was captain of the football team.
You were?
Berkeley High, Berkeley, California.
Were you, I would say you're probably a quarterback, halfback?
I was quarterback. We lost 1 game in 3 years.
We're going to take another short break and then bring out the trophy for Jack LaLanne, and we'll be talking with Late LaLanne as well.
Without her, I'd be a big nothing.
You would?
She's the power underneath my muscle.
Oh, boy.
This woman, she is something, boy. Remember one thing, we both believe the same thing, helping people to help themselves.
Excellent.
You'll understand when you meet her.
All right. And I like the line that you have in one of your writings, or maybe the last line in the book is, I can't afford to die.
It'll wreck my image.
There you go. Okay. We're going to take another break and bring out Jack's Salute Trophy, the Lifetime Achievement Award for Jack LaLanne for his contributions. And it's American Senior TV's first, and we'll be back in a moment. Kerry Glusevich here. We are going to present now to Jack LaLanne, American Senior TV's first annual Lifetime Achievement Award. To Jack LaLanne, congratulations.
You know what? I got tears in my eyes. I really don't deserve this, you know.
Oh, yes.
But this is so wonderful. People thinking about me, and I can't tell you how moved I am inside.
Well, Jack, that thrills me to
Thank
say
you
that.
from the bottom of my bottom. Thank you.
I knew something was coming.
He usually says, from the bottom of my athletic heart, I thank you very much.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, also, of course, sitting next to Jack is the wonderful and beautiful Elaine LaLanne.
We've only known each other 54 years.
Oh, we've known each other actually more than that, of like 57 years, but we've been married not that long.
Now, Elaine is also an author, and tell us a little bit about your books.
Well, I've written 5 books, and he's been my inspiration, of course, and I was a junk food junkie when I met him, so I have lots of stories to tell about how I quit smoking, and when I quit smoking, the greens were greener, the blues were bluer, and that was 50 some years ago. But anyway, we danced. We met at KGO TV, and
I was going to ask that.
I had him on as an interview.
Where's that? KGO TV, where's that?
Was San Francisco, and so we danced at a company party, and we've been dancing ever since. I mean, I shortened that story.
You know
but
what?
We have that story in all my books, and the stories in, I think, in Live Young Forever too. You know, whereas he has a lot of his life in that book, and also exercises and nutrition tips and exercises everybody can do, and juicing recipes for the juicer. You know.
We could not do a show without talking for a moment about Jack LaLanne's juicer. How did that come about, Jack?
I started juicing when I was 15 years old. I attended a health lecture by a man named Paul Bragg,
Yes.
Oakland, California, and he mentioned we should be eating more fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's I got this big idea about getting a juicer. So I got a juicer.
But in those days, they had to press, press it down like that, and it gradually over the years. Of course, that was in the 30s,
So
and
obviously
now
it's evolved.
2000.
Now my new juicer, you can juice all the juice you want within a matter of
Seconds.
seconds. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can put whole apples in it, and whole oranges, and lots of carrots together, and it's got a great big whole.
That's what I do every day. I have a glass of juice with at least 10 or 15 raw fruits and vegetables in it.
How many times a week do you each work out? Every day?
I do something every day.
I do something every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
But the average
recommends.
person, if they do something every other day, if it's vigorous, that's plenty.
That's fine. Some cardio, some weight, something every day.
You can do something a little bit, yeah.
Right, and we do swimming
Walking
too.
is good if you walk fast, swimming, and things you can do right at home. You folks are sitting at home right now. You're sitting in a chair. Stand up, sit down, stand up, sit
Yes.
down, stand up.
That's an
Keep
exercise
going.
right there.
You're watching television and you're doing that.
We also have in that stand up and sit down is in our Better Balance program, and Better Balance for Life is when people get older, they lose their balance, and we have a program called Better Balance for Life, and you can get more information on it on our website www.jacklalaine.com. Just jacklalaine.com.
This is new.
And it's brand new, and it's it's one of the exercises in it, and he has a lot of exercises in there to help the balance.
That is so important because people break hips, getting a little dizzy,
Right.
anything, particularly people who are taking medications and so forth.
That's
You
right.
know what? I can't get my eyes off this trophy.
This is the biggest trophies I've ever seen. I mean, he has a number of trophies,
Right.
but this is the largest one we have.
Well, we wanted to get something very, very special.
It is very special.
And I want to thank Jack LaLanne
From the
and
bottom of my bottom, thank
Elaine.
you.
We are thrilled to have you on American Senior TV.
Are you kidding?
And bless you, and as you like to say,
You know what? If there are more people like you, be a better world.
Ah.
And God helps them that help themselves, and I hope you help the most important person on this earth, you.
well said, beautifully
bless you.
said. Thank you again. Jack LaLanne,
Thank you.
the recipient of the 2010 Life Achievement Award
May I
for
say
American
I want
Senior.
to say one thing. Elaine,
Yes.
without you, I could accomplish nothing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. Jack LaLanne and Elaine, thank you everyone. You've been watching American Senior TV today with Jack LaLanne and Elaine LaLanne, and we'll see you next time.
Now here's my
my
wish for you. May the good Lord bless and keep you too.
Goodbye.
Beautiful.